Jakobsen goes in the red helmet colour. His team partner here will be Norbert Krakowiak. He'll be going off the inside gates in blue. For the visitors, it's Václav Milík who goes in the white helmet colour and off gate number 2. The Polish Championship, that's going to be a 3-round series in 2022. And although he's been inconsistent at times, he's been brilliant as well. Krakowiak, Milík, Iversen and Seifert-Zorc. Second time of asking for heat number 1. Again, a little bit edgy on the line, but we've got underway this time around. Decent jump from Václav Milík, but he's bundled out of the way by Norbert Krakowiak. Gets around the outside of Niels Christian Iversen for second. So much pace down the back straight from Václav Milík as he gets alongside Norbert Krakowiak. Krakowiak moves across his path to block him out, and it's a 4-2 heat advantage to the home side at the end of the opening lap. Milík, though, showing plenty of speed on his return to his former home circuit, and he's not going to lie down and take this one without a fight, as he demonstrated on the outside of Norbert Krakowiak going into turn 3 on the opening lap. The race now beginning to settle down. Seifert-Zorc with the unenviable task of trying to make it across from the outside gates on a track that, as you can see, has been well watered in advance of racing. We've had good weather over the last couple of days in Scandinavia. And Seifert-Zorc, unable to get there on the first 2 turns, is making no real impression. Well, it's settled down after the opening lap. Niels Christian Iversen making no real gains down in 3rd position. In fact, if anything, he's dropping away. Milík was the rider with the pace on the opening lap, but Krakowiak had the start, had the inside gate, and has 3 race points from heat number 1. Krakowiak victorious then, a winning start for Indiana and Kumla, and a heat advantage for them as well that gives them a 2-point lead after the opening race of the day. Well, Václav Milík, I said, was going to be a key man for Paratana tonight, not least because they're a man down, of course, running a 6-man team tonight, and they've got to cover those rider replacement rides for Piotr Pawlicki. There's 4 of them, of course, starting in number 1. Ahead of Václav Milík in 2nd place for 2. Single points in 3rd, going the way of Niels Christian Iversen. His fellow countryman Jonas Seifert-Zorc, the 22-year-old Dane, points from rounds 6 and 7 combined. He top scored for Kumla at Motala in round 7. So looking as though he's somewhat turned a corner, and his boss Peter Johansson will certainly hope he continues to see the best of him in the coming weeks. Across the tapes then for heat number 4, it's Václav Milík off 1, Max Frick off 2, Rasmus Broberg off 3, and Jonathan Grant off the outside. The home side lead it by 6, looking to extend that advantage here, but the inside gate paying dividends for Václav Milík, who's the first to show. Rasmus Broberg cuts back to the inside around turns 1 and 2, but now goes backwards, charging for the inside Jonathan Grant into the pits turn. He moves Václav Milík off the line. Max Frick going the long way round. They're almost 3 abreast at the start of lap number 2. Milík covers off Grant. Now it's up to the Speedway Grand Prix man Max Frick to try and reel in the European Championship regular Václav Milík. It's Milík who's hit the front, looking to become the first away rider to take a race victory here this evening, but he's got the home duo swarming all over the back of him. Grant initially on the inside and Frick on the outside. Max Frick has now switched it back to the curb, front wheel up over the white line from the 2019 and 2020 Australian champion, looking to make it 4 race victories out of 4 for Indiana and Kumla. Václav Milík just about with his nose in front as they head into the final lap, passing the yellow and black quartered flag, and again Frick almost alongside coming off turn number 2, but Milík with the outside grip and advantage pulls clear down the back straight for the final time, and I think he's done enough. Václav Milík becomes the visitors' first heat victor of the meeting, but his teammate is stuck out at the back, so he's unable to really take maximum benefit from it, and the visitors remain 6 points in arrears, but 2 shared results in a row will at least give them some cause for optimism as we head into the first break. And they've also had their first race victor of the meeting. Václav Milík knows the fast way around this place. Milík had enough speed, courtesy of that berm of dirt that's already beginning to develop on the mid-track and outside line. Václav Milík then victorious in number 1. As I said in the build-up, the visitors really can't afford to be dropping points in their top 4 positions, and Seifert-Zorc coming in at the back first time out will have been something of a disappointment. The 4 riders settled then across the tape. Seifert-Zorc off 1, Holder off 2, Milík off 3, and Bellego off the outside gates in blue. Strong start to 2022 in the opening couple of rounds for David Bellego, but he hasn't scored more than 7 points in any of his last 4 appearances. He's lost almost 4/10 of a point compared to his 2021 average. Really needs to hit back after struggling and failing to score first time out in heat number 3. Heat 6 goes tapes up. Poor start off gate 2 from Chris Holder. It's the visiting riders who get there first. Bellego, though, will capitalise on the grip on the outside line to fire his way through to the front down the back straight, and it's a role reversal compared to when these 2 were first on track. Chris Holder, though, cutting his way through up the inside. He was very aggressive there on Jonas Seifert-Solg. Made it through pretty easily on Václav Milík, because going into turn 3, Milík almost went up the back of his team partner Seifert-Solg, and Holder then creeping around the inside line on 3 and 4 and finding his way through on Seifert-Solg. He got a bit of a buy one, get one free there. So it looks like Indiana and Kumla are going to further stretch that leading margin. It's going to be back-to-back heat advantages for them, and through a duo that could only manage to score 3 points first time out in heat number 3. They're going to pick up a big 5-1. It's a big 5-1 because they're going up against the visiting number 1, and Václav Milík on the receiving end of a 5-1 is very, very bad news indeed for Pratana Matala, who, as I said before we went tapes up on this one, could ill afford to drop major points to some of the weak links of Indiana Kumla, and David Bellego has been exactly that in recent weeks. Only 6 points from 6 rides in the first fixture between these two sides, and that is a race victory that he is clearly delighted with. He punches the air as he makes his way around turn 2, back to the scene of where he made his lap 1 bid for top spot. And he came quickly through on the visiting duo, who actually made the superior starts, really, off gates 1 and 3. Seifert-Solg clearly struggling for speed, and actually held back his own team partner, Václav Milík, going into turn number 3. You can see the rain is coming down with some by sending out Václav Milík in the rider replacement facility in heat number 4. He's already had Václav Milík in white, and Jonas Seifert-Solg, who goes in the yellow helmet colour. What a delay opening 2 rides, and off the outside gate in the white helmet colour, Václav Milík, his teammate. He's the only race winner for Pratana Matala. He took heat number 4. The other races have all been won by home representatives. 2 wins for David Bellego, 2 wins for Norbert Krakowiak, who is, along with Chris Holder, undefeated in this fixture. Niels Christian Iversen also a winner in heat number 7, and Gustav Gran took heat 2. Visitors looking to try and restore some pride in the second half of the fixture then. They've got their number 1 here, Václav Milík, who goes in the white helmet colour. Very much the Czech Republic's top rider at the moment, and he'll be embarking on the European Championship campaign on Saturday in Rybnik, his 8th European Championship campaign. He is one of the most successful riders in that competition. In the meanwhile, it's Swedish League action, and after an hour's delay, we were set to get underway, and there's going to be a further delay here. You couldn't make it up, could you? As Jonas Seifert-Solg touches the tapes. Well, such as the anticipation for this one. Heat number 9 that Jonas Seifert-Solg has gone through the tapes off gate number 2, and Václav Milík, who will complete the lineup off the outside gate. Well, all sorts of chaos and confusion before we get underway with this one, but little doubt as to who the away side are focusing on, and that's Václav Milík, who goes off the outside gate. Milík, as I mentioned previously, getting underway with the European Championship at the weekend. He is the series all-time appearance record holder, but he was reliant on a seeded place for 2022 to extend that record as all-time appearance record holder, because he only managed 9th in the SEC Challenge a fortnight ago. Far from the form that he showed back in 2017 when he was a podium finisher at his home Grand Prix. Let's see what he can do from the outside gate here. Visitors' only heat winner thus far. Heat number 9 goes, tapes up, and it is a decent jump from Václav Milík. Let's see how the track rides. They're going to safely negotiate turns 1 and 2. The inside line with a freshly prepared track is going to be the place to be, and Jonathan Grant capitalises on that now to move through on Václav Milík as they go into turn number 3. It's Max Frick, who has managed to successfully hit the front, pursued in second place by Luke Becker, and then in third position Jonathan Grant. Václav Milík, despite making a decent jump, had to try and get all the way across from the outside gate, and that, as I mentioned previously, was always going to be tough to achieve on a freshly prepared track surface. He was unable to do so, and it's looking like being a 4-2 heat advantage in favour of the home side in this one, heat number 9. Milík still pursuing Gran quite closely as they come around turns 3 and 4. See if there's an opportunity that's going to present itself for Václav Milík, the away number 1, to make a pass on the home number 6. You wouldn't in normal circumstances expect to see a big hitting heat leader like Václav Milík struggling behind a junior rider, but obviously Milík caught out by track conditions, caught out by the outside start position on a freshly graded track. They've had an hour of track work to get us back underway, and we've had 4 laps, so thankfully we've got that under our belts after the initial chaos of the tape touching incident in the initial running for Jonas Seifert-Solg. Max Frick coming across the line then to pick up the 3 race points in that one Heat 9, and with his teammate Jonathan Grahn in 3rd place. It's a 4-2 heat advantage, 4 points to 2 then in favour of the home side. Yet another heat and protracted delay, but we finally got back underway. 9th race done and dusted, and there is confirmation of your result. Oscar Pfeiffer, the 2 top men, 2 top scorers for Paratana Matala, looking to be the first rider who actually made it back to the challenge following a successful trip to Hungary in the preliminary qualifier. So double duty, because he'll be doing the SEC, the European Championship. He's also got to think about that Grand Prix challenge that takes place at Glasgow in August. So a couple of big fixtures, as I've mentioned, north of the border in Scotland, with that test fixture that will feature Luke Becker coming up in 9 days' time. Václav Milík then off the inside gate in white, the winner of heat number 4. He's on 6 points from 4 rides, but the 2 riders for the home side off gates 2 and 4 as yet undefeated by an opponent. We'll see if either of them lose out on their paid maximums here. Heat number 12 going tapes up. Not a good start off the outside gate from Chris Holder, and he's going to go for the cutback now coming off turn 2. Brings himself alongside Oscar Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer though with the outside run coming off the second turn has got plenty of pace, carries his momentum nicely into turn 3, tries to lock back to the inside on turn 4. He's collected by Norbert Krakowiak and goes down, and the red lights are straight on from the meeting referee. And I wonder whether that was just Oscar Pfeiffer getting caught out there, trying to come around the outside of turn 3. Nobody's really been able to use even the mid-track line since the resumption of the action following that hour's race. He gets back in the restart along with Václav Milík. For me, the wrong decision, but either way, it's Norbert Krakowiak that's been thrown out here of Heat 12. So it's a single rider only for Indiana Nakumla. And is this going to be the opportunity that Paratana Matala have been waiting for, to take their first heat advantage of the entire night? Remember that we got started at 7 p.m. local time. It's now 9:45 local time, and the visitors have only won 2 races thus far. Tapes up and away we go on heat number 12. Holder's made a decent jump, but he's got to come from the outside gate. He's going to rely on a cutback now coming off turn 2. The away duo are 1 and 2. Václav Milík on the inside. He's given the overlap to Oscar Pfeiffer coming around turns 3 and 4. Pfeiffer locks up again coming off turn 4, and he holds up the momentum of his own teammate Václav Milík. That allows Chris Holder through for 2nd place, and Holder is charging hard here on the tail of Oscar Pfeiffer. Looks faster than him at the start of lap number 2. Can the pole settle it down up at the head of the field, or will Chris Holder maintain his maximum run? Norbert Krakowiak's lost out on his maximum after disqualification, a harsh disqualification I must say, and rough justice here for him, because it's Oscar Pfeiffer who arguably should have been disqualified from this one, heat 12, who is leading the restart. Holder brave on the outside there coming around turn 4. Václav Milík isn't too far adrift, but Milík, who led the initial staging before the stoppage, was held up by his own teammate Oscar Pfeiffer, and that was enough for Chris Holder to come through for 2nd place. Holder has gradually drifted away from Pfeiffer, the race leader, and Oscar Pfeiffer will take only the 3rd heat victory of the day for Paratana Matala, and it is his 2nd victory of the night. He was the winner of heat number 10, he's the winner of heat number 12, and this, for the first time this evening, is converted into a heat advantage by the visitors, because after the disqualification of Norbert Krakowiak, Chris Holder would have needed a win, not only to maintain his winning run, but also disqualified there from the 12th race of the day. First heat advantage of the day, only the 3rd heat victory for the visitors. Paratana Matala. His team partner in blue is Niels Christian Iversen. He was the winner of heat 13. He's on 9 points from 4 rides. He also won heat 7. For the visitors in white, it's Oscar Pfeiffer. He's been their form man today, their top scorer, the winner of heats 10 and 12. He's on 10 points from 5 rides, had a mechanical failure in his 3rd outing. And his team partner off the outside gate in yellow, the distinctive front fork colours of Václav Milík. And Milík, their 1st heat winner for Paratana Matala, all the way back in heat number 4. Seems like a different day almost now, doesn't it? The early stages of this fixture. He's on 7 points from 5 rides. He got a point after the disqualification of Norbert Krakowiak in heat 12, but otherwise he hasn't actually defeated an opposition rider on track since heat number 4, and he's got the outside gate that's not going to help his cause here. Final race of a much delayed meeting here in Kumla. Tapes up and away they go. What a start that is from Václav Milík off gate number 4. Can he get all the way around the outside? The answer to that looks like being yes. Pulling up around the first 2 turns, Norbert Krakowiak. Disappointing end to what was a meeting that started with such promise for the pole. But up at the front of the field, the visitors looking to end on a high note. Niels Christian Iversen now will mount an attack. He's wide around turns 1 and 2. Out-track once again, Iversen. I said in last night's Danish League fixture that starting has been his problem, has been again this evening. He's been inconsistent. He is going to come up with a decent points haul. That says as much about the struggles of Paratanamatala as it does about the successes relatively of Niels Christian Iversen here today. Bit of team riding and an opportunity to ride side by side here from Václav Milík on the outside and Oscar Pfeiffer on the inside. They're combining in the way that they couldn't when they hit the front in Heat 12. Remember, Pfeiffer held up Milík, and that enabled Chris Holder to come through for second place. There's going to be no revenge in the latter stages here for Niels Christian Iversen. In fact, he looks down at his machine coming out of turn 2 and now pulls up. He'll coast home for the consolation point. The visitors finish with a flourish, a maximum heat advantage in heat number 15. Through their top scoring duo in this fixture of Václav Milík and Oscar Pfeiffer. They're 1 and 4. Pfeiffer making a welcome return to league action in round 7 a fortnight ago. And he'll have been in double figures home and away. Have eventually got to the end of 15 heats here in Kumla. Final scores then, 55 points to 35 in favour of Indiana. Incidentally, in the other round 8 fixture that took place tonight, it was Vestavik 46, Eskilstuna Smedina 44 in a top-of-the-table clash. And Eskilstuna Smedina, remember, led the league table by 2 points. So it's tightened up at the top. 4th position has changed hands in round 8 of the Swedish League as well. Back-to-back victories for Indiana Kumla against Paratanamatala, giving them that 4th place, giving them all 3 league points tonight. And just in those 2 fixtures, they've gained 5 points. They now move on to a total of 8. So having scored only the 3 points in their opening 5 fixtures, Kumla Indiana, who came into tonight's fixture with a meeting in hand, have really capitalised on it, and they leapfrog up into 4th position overall. The final scores as we finally get to the end of 15 heats here in Kumla: Indiana 55, Paratana 35. From myself, Alex Schraby, that's all for now.